Please stand by for our 1-minute sponsor.
Hi my wonderful sweet babies. So before I get started with this video, my loves, I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Ask Kirby. If you guys are interested in an app where you can basically get advice, you can hear people's take on your situations, basically check out Ask Kirby. A lot of people be coming out here to get interesting advice, and sometimes I just be scrolling out here to basically look at how messed up a lot of people are. One girl said, but how do I get a sugar daddy that doesn't want any sugar? Because I've seen so many girls get gifted with nice cars and apartments, and I'm tired of paying for my own stuff. I need someone that can get my car ASAP. Well, I mean, the subway by my house is hiring, and I mean, you could pick up something called an application or sell your poom poom on the streets. But anyways, check out Ask Kirby if you guys want unfiltered advice, or you want to hear people's opinions on your situations, or you want to hear people just basically just make a fool of themselves on an app. The best part is it's completely anonymous. So if you want advice, check out Ask Kirby, or if you want to give advice, check out X Kirby so you can talk your ish anonymously.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destined Choice, and you're watching TROYCETV. So today I really wanted to do this video, especially because right now everybody's talking about Tyra Banks. Well, if you guys haven't heard, I'm going to break down everything that's going on involving Tyra Banks. You know how I always say, oh, that's another video, or that's for another video, because I'm always changing the fucking subject because my ADD just be acting up. So long story short, I decided to make one of those that's another video videos. I wanted to make this video about her 3 months ago, because Tyra's always being outed for all the fuck shit she does, and nobody ever says shit. But right now, a video actually went viral. Matter of fact, several videos are currently going viral on Twitter and made their way over to Instagram of all the fuck shit Tyra did on America's Next Top Model and on the Tyra Show. And I want to take this time to actually do this video and talk about the shady side, the downfall of Tyra Banks, and everything that people should be talking about, but for some reason act like they don't see that shit. So cancel culture acts again. If you guys didn't know, Tyra Banks is being dragged for this old clip from America's Next Top Model, and a lot of these clips are from 5 to 15 years ago. And let me tell y'all, in this video, some of the things that I'm going to point out are going to catch y'all off guard. These videos resurfaced consisted of Tyra bullying contestants, enabling horrible behavior, and basically allowing a lot of fuck shit to go on under her watch. So whenever I see Tyra, I see a woman that I literally admired for a very long time. Because y'all know, we all grew up on Tyra Banks. You know, Tyra Banks dominated the 90s. But it's kind of crazy how she has like this goofy, wholesome image. Now, don't get me wrong. Tyra may be a legend in her own way, but her actions need to be held accountable. She's been called out in so many ways, shapes, and form, and many people who have even been guests of her show and victims of her production team have even spoke out against her.
She gets the entire story wrong. She's like, okay, so we're here with, and she totally just made up a fucking different name than what I am.
This lady, we met this bitch, okay, 5 minutes, okay? I'm thinking literally like, this is my, mind you, this is my role model. I love Tyra. I love everything she stands for. You know, like, this show is scripted as fuck. And on top of that, she could care less. She don't give a fuck. She is here to get, she don't care. She's here to get her coins.
She crossed her fucking arms. Tyra Banks crossed her arms and looked at me and said, I don't like that. You sound like a fucking prostitute. And turns and looks this way and would not make eye contact with me.
But right now I'm going to talk about a lot of the stuff that happened with America's Next Top Model, the demise of the show, and why the show kind of went downhill in my eyes, and some things that people swept under the rug. And while I do that, I'm going to be enjoying my fucking bagel with my strawberry bagel spread with no artificial colorings or preservatives. Tyra Banks is a solidified fashion icon from Inglewood, California, and got her start in the modeling industry at the age of 15. Eventually, when she was 16, she took modeling seriously, and while she was attending high school, she was modeling and booking shows. She eventually strived to be signed to an agency, but barely found any luck, and decided to attend LMU. But before she managed to go to school and go in for the first semester, she ran into a scouter who was from Paris who asked her to model for him. And from there, her career became history.
And let's see, you were on your way to college actually, and you got this whole thing. What happened?
Well, I was on my way to Loyola Marymount University to study film and television production, so I wanted to write and direct film. So, 2 weeks before the first day of school, 2 weeks before the first day of Loyola, a Paris scout saw me, and she's like, Tyra, you have to come to Paris. You're going to be so wonderful, you know. So I talked to Loyola, and they gave me a 1-year deferment. They said, go, you know, eat French food, go to museums, and we'll give you college credit. So I went, and like my first week in Paris, I had a magazine cover. I did 25 fashion shows, and I was like, you know, doing good. So I was like...
Tyra became so successful that she actually became the first ever black model to be a Victoria's Secret angel. Tyra, along with Naomi Campbell, paved a lot of way for black women in the industry, and because of them, inclusion amongst black women was brought to the forefront. Because y'all know modeling is a very whitewashed industry, and I will always stretch that. I will always stretch the fact that black women and black people don't get enough representation, no matter how many times it pisses people off or how many times I bring this shit up. Tyra Banks basically knocked down a whole bunch of doors and broke down barriers. And Tyra basically took over the early 90s to mid 90s to late 90s to early 2000s. As Tyra became more successful, she became a huge hit, and many fashion companies wanted her. Tyra has modeled for companies like H&M, Fendi, Givenchy, Ralph Lauren, YSL, Versace, CoverGirl, Pepsi, and even Nike. Tyra was even in a very popular Nike commercial way back in the day. As Tyra became even more successful, she even made many appearances on many TV shows.
Some with lovely parting gifts.
Maybe I better leave too.
No, don't.
As the early 2000s came creeping around, Tyra Banks used her star power to pitch a show called America's Next Top Model alongside her childhood best friend, Kenya Barris.
Where'd you get the idea for that show? That is such a good idea.
It's a weird... Okay, I was in my kitchen fixing some breakfast and I had on my underwear.
And,
was
it Victoria's Secret?
Of course! Yeah. And I walked from the kitchen to the dining room. Oprah, I looked out the window. It would have this beautiful view, and it came to me. I was like, I want to do like an American Idol, but for models, but they live together like the real world.
Wow.
Like that show, The Real World. Yeah.
At one point, American Next Top Model was the highest viewed reality show and even faced a lot of praise. The show did so well that it even inspired many spin-offs throughout the years. There has been spin-offs like Britain's Next Top Model, Nigeria's Next Top Model, Poland's Next Top Model, China's Next Top Model, and Brazil's Next Top Model. Before the rise of Instagram models and before the diversity Instagram brought, Tyra has given shine to many models of all shapes and sizes. Tyra has given shine and praise to plus-size models, deaf models, legally blind models, and even models with vitiligo. The show ran for 16 years and has turned many of its contestants into household names, like Winnie Harlow, Eva Marcel, and Yaya DaCosta. Tyra became so popular to the point where she was so solidified in her career that she even got her own talk show. In 2017, the show had its last season, and currently there hasn't been any talks of a new season. But there was a ton of things that happened behind the scenes and on live television that Tyra has not only excused, allowed, participated in, and basically swept under the rug. There's a lot of shady shit that I feel like Tyra needs to be held accountable for. Starting with this scandal that everybody's talking about. This scandal currently is going viral, and that's what inspired this video to be made immediately. In 2009, of Cycle 13, Tyra Banks put all the non-black models in literal blackface to make them appear more ethnic, and to make matters worse, Tyra wanted to pull off different ethnicities. Not only did she pull off blackface and try to make other models look black, she also tried to make models look Native American, biracial, and mixed race of Hawaiian. So you can see why this stirred a lot of controversy.
Twist! We are actually going to switch your ethnicities. The challenge here really is taking on the persona of that other ethnicity while in the photograph and owning it. Christina, you're gonna be an East Indian. Tiffany, you're gonna be Native American. Brittany, an African American woman. Kenya, Korean. Kaylin,
We're featuring you as a Hawaiian.
Michelle, an Eskimo woman. Naima's gonna be an Icelandic Scandinavian. Tatiana, a biracial woman. Wow.
I'm half black, so being transformed into a proud African woman for me is definitely an exciting experience.
Come out here, Jared. Come here. Oh. This is Jared. Hi, Jared. Wave.
So hard not to cry. It was definitely really hard.
My thing.
It's over this way.
Christina, regal, not cold.
Models were put in makeup to make them appear darker and were dressed in stereotypical fashion garments and accessories, making for some pretty problematic pictures.
And to make matters even worse, Tyra had the nerve to do this several times.
At first, I was really scared. I'm like, I hope I come off looking like her.
All right, darling, here we go. Good. The legs like that are good, but then maybe the upper body is still sort of straight and tough. Yeah, good.
Open your legs more, Samara. No.
Great. I tell you, this is like going back in time. Good.
Just real. Go for it.
Gorgeous!
I didn't think I looked like her, but now I know I do.
Tyra also did the shit in 2003 of Cycle 2, Cycle 4 of 2005, and Tyra was called out for it in 2009, and the hate got so bad that Tyra decided to address it on her fucking talk show, and she gave a half-ass motherfucking apology on the show. Tyra said on her talk show, and I quote, "If anyone was offended, I apologize, because that was not my intent. It's my #1 passion in my life to stretch the definition of beauty." But it gets worse, bitch. She followed that up by saying this: "I want to be very clear. I in no way put top models in blackface," she said. "I'm a black woman. I am proud. I love my people, and the struggle that we have gone through continues. And the last thing that I would ever do is be a part of something that degraded my race." I'm sorry to anybody that watched Top Model and was offended by the pictures because they didn't understand the real story behind them. Or even if you did see the whole episode and you were still offended, I truly apologize, because that is not my intention, she said. "My intention is to spread beauty and break down barriers." You know you done fucked that, right? You know you done fucked that, right? So Tyra had the nerve to sit up here and say, "I'm sorry if anybody was offended." Bitch, what? I'm sorry if anybody was offended? Or are you sorry that you did something awful and don't even realize it? Let's be realistic, y'all. Whenever somebody starts up an apology with, "I'm sorry if you feel that way," or "I'm sorry if you felt offended," bitch, you got called out, so you're not going to take accountability for the bullshit that you did. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, "Well, some of the models were black," or "Tyra herself is a black woman. How can she do blackface on other models?" Bitch, you do realize that Tyra's the executive producer of the show, so in reality, she has complete creative control of what goes on behind the scenes and what things get greenlit. And you do realize that saying, "Well, she's black, she can't be racist," is equivalent to saying, "Well, I can't be racist because I have a black friend." Do people not realize the ignorance that she literally spewed out? Like, she could have took that time to do research. And at Tyra's age, really, at the time Tyra was damn near 35 years old. At that age, you should really be able to acknowledge your fault and know what the fuck blackface is. Is she fucking serious? And then she has the nerve to flip the script and say, "I'm sorry you watched Top Model." But shall I proceed? And what's so crazy is, when that whole situation happened, I was pretty young, so I didn't understand it and I wasn't educated about it. But now being an adult and looking back, I'm just like, girl, what? Like, now that I really understand what she did. And the fact that at her age, she couldn't see the issue already shows that she's a complete narcissist. Tyra said that she wanted to bring diversity and she wanted to show women of all color. But here's my thing. If you're going to cast women of color to play other races, why not cast those particular people to play their culture? There was plenty of black women, there's plenty of biracial women, there's plenty of, I'm sure, indigenous women or Latin women of different races that were on the show. She could have simply dressed them in their culture to show beauty, but instead she wanted to take skin pigment, paint it on top of another person's skin pigment, and make them look completely different. Obviously, she couldn't do it with the dark-skinned girls, but she did it with all the lighter-skinned girls. My skin is not a costume, so go to hell, bitch, if you think that this shit is okay. But here's a quick breakdown for all you people who aren't fully aware of what blackface is. Blackface is a theatrical costume that many people use to emulate people of color. Blackface has a horrid reputation because it plays a role in oppression of black people, mixed people, and even Native Americans. Back in the day, African Americans had laws that segregated them called Jim Crow laws. And Jim Crow laws were literally excused and were literally perpetuated in the media and were used to hypnotize the masses into thinking that black people were public enemy number one. The media portrayed blacks as southern, lazy, big-lipped animals who didn't know how to function like real people. Jim Crow laws were outlawed in 1965. Many directors, actors, and entertainers have still found ways to integrate it into their work. Shall I provide some examples? In 2007, actress Angelina Jolie starred in the biopic The Mighty Heart, and she portrayed a mixed-race Afro-Latina Marion Pearl using spray tans and a 3-type hair wig. Whoever greenlighted this and thought that this was okay is going to hell in a fucking handbasket. Oh wait, but there's more. Some of y'all faves, Jimmy Kimmel, yes, Jimmy Kimmel, the comedian, the talk show host, and the solidified millionaire. Jimmy Kimmel literally dressed in blackface in 2004 when he appeared in a sketch comedy show called The Man Show. And he dressed up as an NBA player named Karl Malone, who was very popular in the 90s.
Other planet, phoning home like E.T. Karl Malone read on TV about white people getting deducted by aliens.
And he even dressed up as self-made billionaire Oprah Winfrey, making fun of her weight and wore the wig and painted his skin.
My temple. That's why I start every morning with a brisk aerobic workout. But I can't do it alone. Workouts are easier when you have a partner. My workout partner is my maid, Marguerite. Marguerite's soft brown stomach protects my knees and ankles from unnecessary wear and tear.
Not too much longer, mi sopra, okay?
Cállate! That means shut up in Spanish.
Oh, and this video wouldn't be complete if I didn't include Mr. Aubrey Graham, aka Drake. Yes. So Mr. Drake started from the bottom. When he was younger, he basically literally wore blackface in a campaign/commercial that never aired on television in Canada. He dressed up basically in blackface and wore the red lips and had the whole getup. Oh, and of course, we cannot forget Beyonce. Beyonce appeared in blackface in a photo shoot that she did back in the early 2000s. So, yes, even Beyonce has done it. So for some of y'all who are going to say, well, no, B doesn't count. Well, B is of lighter skin. She is a brown-skinned girl, but she is close to borderline light skin, not too dark, not too light. So even her painting her face dark still counts as blackface. I'm not the darkest person, but if I were to get some black paint and paint all over my face, it would still count as blackface. Don't at me, bitch. I said what I said. Do your research. It's even more crazy because many people even try to compare these celebs doing blackface with the Wayne brothers doing whiteface, quote-unquote whiteface. Even though whiteface doesn't exist, considering that it has no historical backing, it doesn't have a history of oppression, and white people don't even experience racism because they're the beneficiary of it. But that's a whole other video and a whole other conversation that a lot of people aren't ready for. Anyways, and last but not least, we have Mr. Shane Dawson himself, YouTube's golden child.
This is a story all about how my life got twisted upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. Yeah. Bum 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 bum.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, it is me, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. How fly do I look? I mean, really.
When I point out all these people that have done blackface, I'm trying to show you guys that it's important to keep the same energy. And also I'm telling you guys that it's very important. I need to show a lot of you guys how prominent that it still is. And how when it comes to shit like this, people need to be checked. In my opinion, if people say this generation is too sensitive, then maybe the generation before that, and the generation before that, and the generation before that is fucked up. Because they've normalized so much fucked up behavior that people expect to let slide. Let's talk about other videos of Tyra Banks that have resurfaced. A video recently resurfaced of Tyra Banks disrespecting an Afro-Latina, Yaya Da Costa. Yaya, along with other judges in cycle 3 of the show back in 2004, basically told Yaya that she's unattractive. And Yaya likes to embrace her African style and her African culture and her African side. And due to her wanting to embrace it by wearing all these crazy colors and all these natural homemade items, She was criticized by the judges. Not only was she criticized by the judges, she was criticized by Tyra herself. And when she did speak up for herself and say that she embraces her culture and she embraces the things that she wears that show off her African roots, Tyra then told her that her behavior was unattractive.
Excuse me. Why did you choose the cowboy hat? It's more on the simple side compared to the other hats, so that I can go crazy with accessories and express myself without being cliche.
Yeah, I think you look beautiful. I think everyone probably pegged you for going for the typical African hat.
Yeah, you're, I feel, half African, half cowgirl. Looks like you're about to ride a giraffe. I think I'm not feeling it.
You have this intensity to prove your sort of Africanness, and I think that sometimes it's overbearing. It's just too much. It's sort of a layer on top of a layer.
In response to trying to prove myself as an African, that's just where I come from. It's very natural to me. And I did not choose that hat for the very specific reason that it's very cliche. The fabric that it's made from is very artificial, very cheap, fake kente. I didn't have the time. I know I'm running on.
There's a different way of explaining yourself and being defensive. And you're being very defensive, and it's not attractive.
Just because we had a talk about, you know, Afrocentricity before, and it's kind of misunderstood.
I'm all about, like, expressing yourself and your culture, but it's still done in a fashion way. You want your outfit to be, look at me, and this outfit is, look over there.
Now, I know when it comes to being a model, you're allowed to be criticized, and Tyra is open to criticize her, but in my eyes, it seems like Tyra was basically calling her an angry black woman, and Yaya even apologized for what? I don't even know.
You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model. Thank you. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry for being defensive when you gave me. I totally took in everything you said. I really mean it. So outside of myself.
Well, that was the other critique that I was going to give you that I forgot. So come right back. You need to apologize to the fake kente cloth African hat. Yeah, it was like you were on this pedestal and this hat smelled like dookie. You're insulting the person that chose that hat. Insulting. And in this industry, there's going to be people that really are sensitive and word will spread and no one will ever want to work with you.
I understand that and I apologize.
Bitch, if that was me, I would have took that shit and frisbee that shit across the room. But hey, that's just me. But it gets even worse. On cycle 4 of the show, an African-American model by the name of Kenya Hill was portrayed as the fat girl on the show. Not only was she portrayed as the fat girl on the show, production edited her in a way where she was the girl who overate and was extra and ate too much. And to make matters even worse, Tyra and other judges criticized her for being bloated and eating too much.
That's a lot. Can you tell? A little bit.
When I'm under a lot of stress, I find a real comfort in eating.
Kenya, she feels like she's gaining some weight, but when the next bread tray comes around, she'll be the first one to grab a croissant or two off of it.
I'm gonna make a bowl of that yogurt.
Kenya just going filling up more. It's just yogurt. She said she wants to lose weight, so she wants help. I'm gonna help. She's getting
Convert your yogurt.
Of course, we're going to do a photo shoot today, but you guys are going to be the animals. So I picked an animal that I think represents each and all of you. You get to be the elephant. I don't know how 1 week is gluttony, next week is the elephant.
Right. Everybody else has these sexy little animals. I get to be the big fat elephant. Oh, why do I keep getting stuck with these fat, characters? What is going on? I'm freaking out, what am I gonna do? I don't know how to be a sexy elephant. The stomach is exposed to the highest extent. It's bloated and it doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, but I hate to say it, they had to do a lot of body work on you and retouching.
At home, pretty much I try to, eat right. And we come here, my metabolism, everything is thrown off.
Stop! If you're sporting a gut, then you turn to the side and disguise it.
You're new. Be honest with yourself and don't point the finger because nobody will retouch a picture as much as we did this picture.
When we look at you, we don't see a model. And as much as I hate and preach about models not having to be stick skinny, we have to face it that we are in the fashion industry. If you don't fit the clothes, you don't work. Both of you guys' weakness, I don't think there's time for either of you to overcome them. But we've been in this industry for a long time, and these judges have seen miracles happen. Thank you. You're gonna work on yourself, get it together, but healthy. You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model.
Although this girl's as skinny as can be. I understand that as a model, you have a responsibility of staying in shape and that you can't eat too much because you have to be able to fit the clothes that you're modeling for. But how does Tyra, a black woman who has been criticized for her nose, her neck being too long, her forehead being fat as fuck, her five head being big as shit, being too thick over time, criticize another woman of color who's not even that damn big, but instead has a small little gut that could easily go away with crunches and a smaller diet? She could have simply told her, hey girl, I love you, but cut back on the fast food, chill out with the food, you have to be able to fit these clothes, so yeah, cut it down a little bit. But instead, she went on to literally call this girl basically disgusting for having a tiny little gut. Really, Tyra? Tyra is legit trash for that, and the fact that she even got a pass for that is honestly mind-boggling. Oh, but I'm not done yet. There was also an incident in Cycle 6 when a conservative and prejudiced woman by the name of Danny was casted on the show. The entire cast dragged her. This girl said racist and derogatory terms, and production did nothing about it.
Exciting. We're all happy to be here. How many girls were at tryout?
It was like 95% black girls. It was all black girls.
Really?
I didn't realize it was gonna be like that. Like whenever I went, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your point though? Like
there's just a lot of black girls.
I have my opinion and I try to stay to it.
I am the most uber conservative, Republican, hardcore Baptist you can ever imagine in your whole life. I don't like gay people. I don't like Muslims. I don't like abortions. I don't like anything liberal. But other than that, I really like to get along with people.
Usually it's like half black, half white, or more white, just because black people are naturally population-wise minority.
Danny, she was digging herself a little deeper into the racial pool, and then I was like, well, you are not gonna make me the angry black woman.
Go out to have dinner and get to meet the girls some more and get to know each other a little bit better.
Wow, this is so good. I'm really happy.
I'm used to my little spring Texas. Everything in my life is perfect, and then I come here.
So what type of racism do you have for people think that you're racist?
I don't like Muslims. I don't like gay people. But other than that, I really like to get along with people.
One thing, I don't believe in affirmative action. It's like the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my whole life. Ever.
Are you serious?
The color of your skin means absolutely nothing.
Okay, perfect example. Abercrombie and Fitch, where I used to work. I was the only black girl who worked at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Because black people don't.
Because what?
Why would black people
The F does that mean?
Why would... Calm down, I'm not saying anything.
No, do you realize what you just said to me out loud?
You haven't let me...
No, wait. Do you realize what you just said to me out loud?
Why would black people
The F does that mean?
You don't think before you speak the words.
Yeah, you need to watch what you say.
I am thinking.
No, you need to watch what you say before you say it.
Danny ends up always coming across racist, which she says she's not, but everyone swears she, just because she always is saying racist remarks.
I'm not the kind of person that's going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to tell them my opinion and be like, I'm sorry I feel that way. I'm sorry to offend you, because I'm not sorry.
Why would I go apply for a job at some FUBU retail whatever? Why would I do that?
I mean, what's your point though?
Ever as long as you are living, ever make another statement like that around me. Danny rubbed me the wrong way. She pops off at the mouth, not thinking about what she said, and that gets her into trouble, and it's going to continue to get her into trouble.
You want me to offend you. So everything
Okay, but the thing is the whole table heard it. It's not. She's not the only one that feels. Everyone feels exactly how she feels.
And we're not trying to tell
No, it doesn't matter. I know how I feel, and you don't. So you can't tell me that I'm racist when I know I'm not.
I really honestly did not know that there was anyone in the competition that had views like that. This is going to be a long road if she's in this house with me.
Spring, Texas. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Miss Danny, I hear you've been involved in some very heated debates.
Ever since I've been here, I've just been attacked by a lot of girls because what I said in my audition in Houston was to get people's attention, have a more open mind as to what I was born in, what I was raised in. You can't choose where you come from.
Yeah. Interesting.
I just wish the personality matched the body. In this case,
I think we have something there that we could work with and kind of break it down and rebuild it back up.
She later got eliminated, but although she shared her views with the judges before getting eliminated, she literally got nothing but a, okay, that's your opinion. She got a slap on the wrist from the other judges. She said a lot of negative things about black women, but yet Tyra Banks, a black woman who runs the show, allowed her to stay another night, another day, as if it, like, I'm in shock. So y'all see what I mean when I say Tyra had done some nasty things, and I'm not even at the end of this video yet. It gets even deeper. Like, there's a lot more shit that she's even allowed. Then there was an incident on Cycle 15. Tyra and her team pressured Kayla Farrell, a model and also a victim of sexual assault, to participate in a kissing scene that she wasn't comfortable with. Instead of saying, we respect your views, and if you don't want to do it, we understand. If you want to get eliminated, it is what it is. But hey, they decided to talk her into it numerous times.
It's like if you're saying to me right now, you'll throw away jobs if you've got to kiss a guy, and you can't go through the rest of your life with this.
Not to mention the many times she sent many women home and criticized women for not doing naked shoots.
Robin, you were supposed to have a nude photo shoot. We don't have a photo for you this week, and why is that?
I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. My body is mine. I just didn't think that, you know, that is what I needed to do in order to get ahead.
But you look like me.
You nervous? Why? What's the issue? Tell us.
I just can't pose in the nude.
You can't? Realize that it's going to affect your standing in the competition. That's all I can say.
Ginger clearly won't even get naked in front of herself. So, I mean, there's no way in hell she's going to do it in front of all these people.
I want Ginger, you're up.
I can't.
I know it's hard. You don't want to do it?
I can't. Thank you.
I'm mad at the fact that these girls want to be models, but they're like objecting at the fact that they've got to be nude, and I really don't want to hear it.
Ginger, we can do it so you're totally covered the whole time you're up there. Have somebody go up there with you.
You know, leave her alone. She don't want to do it. Big deal.
At first, Ginger couldn't do it, but we had talked to her, and she finally made up her mind.
Come on! Can you just do it?
Meanwhile, Tyra has never and will never, and has even said that she doesn't do naked shoots.
So that's like the newest thing.
Tyra posed in next to nothing, but she drew the line at bearing it all.
There are a lot of jobs I turn down because they want me to go topless, or they want me to be a little show too much. Like, I've done things with my shirt off, but I'm always like covering myself like that or from the side.
And let's not forget about on Cycle 21, when rising star and now household name Winnie Harlow, she didn't win the show, but when she was on the show, she was treated horribly. As a matter of fact, she was even called Panda by one of Tyra's photographers. And this is the clip. It's absolutely disgusting.
Number 7, Yusai kept calling Chantel a panda. Cycle 21.
I know when Yusai is calling me his lovable panda, it's coming from a very loving place and not a malicious place. But although it may not bother me, it could bother other people that have skin conditions. I don't want kids out there to see you, someone so high up in the industry, being able to call me panda and then see somebody else with a skin condition and be like, hey, Yusai could call Chantel panda, I can call this person a cow.
Not only did he give Chantel the nickname Panda based on the color of her skin, he threw a tantrum when she politely asked him to stop.
When I gave you the nickname, it's to help you. If you don't understand it, you would no longer deserve that little soft nickname. I'll call you Porcupine from now on.
I've had people who called me their best friend be like, oh, I can call you cow because we're friends. That doesn't make any sense. You still can't call me that.
I don't care about nicknames, but when it comes to people giving you unnecessary nicknames that you don't want, that's when it becomes a problem. Y'all ever been in a situation where you've dealt with a teacher, or you've dealt with a friend, or you've dealt with a coworker who called you a nickname that you didn't like? Like, let's try to empathize with Winnie Harlow for a second. Like, we've all had experience with somebody have given us nicknames that we didn't care for and didn't like, rather it be Blackie or baby girl, or this, like, you know, certain nicknames, if you're not okay with it, and the person tells you to stop, then why not stop? Instead, he got offended and told her, well, that name isn't fitting for you anyway since you're getting upset. He basically blamed her for why she wasn't okay with being called Panda due to her skin condition. It's a little bit offensive if you really think about it. Now, let's be realistic, y'all. She'd be dead wrong if she called him Apu from The Simpsons, right? She'd be dead wrong if she called him Mr. Brown Man, right? Because he's of Indian background, right? Let's keep the same energy. He has the nerves to criticize her for getting upset over a nickname. Meanwhile, he wouldn't like if somebody depict his skin color, picked him piece by piece, and gave him a nickname based off of his appearance. Let's be real, y'all. I would have went the fuck off on him if I was her, but she kept it together. And Tyra literally allowed this and didn't say shit, and this man continued to be on the show. You gave her a nice name, and she's not allowed to be offended. In my Monique voice, make it make sense, my loves. Oh, but I'm not done yet. Let's talk about the fact that 3 months ago, Tyra was outed by a former contestant on America's Next Top Model. If you guys didn't know, a woman by the name of Geena Turner basically outed Tyra and all of production for mistreating her. This literally happened 3 months ago, and that's when I wanted to make a video about all the shady things Tyra did. But I'm glad I waited, because a lot of shit has happened since then. Geena Turner is a model who basically outed Tyra and all the producers for mistreating her, and she claims that while she was filming, the producers assumed that she snuck in a phone into the mansion because one of the girls snitched on her and said that she had a phone. Now, one girl had a phone in that mansion, but for some reason production thought that it was her. And although it was never proven, and although they ransacked her stuff, she was never found with a cell phone. And if you guys know anything about reality shows, you know that due to spoilers and people trying to spoil shows, you can't have anything that stores data or audio when you're filming a reality TV show, especially when it takes months to edit and air. Production assumed that it was Geena that did it, and she claimed that producers constantly cornered her to the point that she started crying. The girls felt like she was working with the production to win the contest that was coming up, and the producers constantly made her uncomfortable by telling her, don't tell the girls anything that we told you, don't tell the girls anything. And the production basically tried to turn the girls against Geena, basically trying to make it seem like Geena was in alliance with the producers because Geena was edited to be the bitch of the show. She felt very uncomfortable and targeted by the producers, constantly cornering her, asking her crazy questions, ransacking her items, and basically targeting her out of all the girls. She also mentioned that the only reason she got a bad edit was because she wouldn't kiss the producer's ass. And after she left the show and made her departure, she then DM'd Tyra as soon as she got home and basically told Tyra about all her mistreatment. And according to her, Tyra basically read her message and left her ass on scene.
And sure, so that's why it does fall on her. I sent her a message and explained to her what goes on behind the scenes in production, just in case she didn't know. I'm sure she does. I'm 100% sure she does. 24 cycles of America's Next Top Model in like 15 years. She knows. Plenty of girls have told her. She read my message, you guys, and left it on scene. She never responded to me. Like, who does that? This is your name. There's lawsuits being brought up because of things like this. But you don't want any responsibility in it. You claim and you speak on all this female empowerment and building people up and accepting their differences, when in reality you do the opposite. You physically push the opposite. You might say something else, but your actions prove otherwise. And that's so sad. And
Tyra is so full of shit if this is true. This girl didn't show any DMs or whatever. But as far as I know, when your name is attached to a TV show and you're not going to try to resolve an issue, especially when these girls come here because they look up to you and trust you because of the inclusion that you provided, obviously that doesn't make you look very good. And Tyra has been known for being a bitch and having a nasty reputation. But I mean, come on now. Somebody was uncomfortable and you have the nerve to just leave them on scene. Not a good look, my love. She also mentioned that during her audition, she was very disrespected while she was being interviewed by Tyra and the judges. She said during initiation, she was asked about her experience modeling for Playboy. And if you didn't know, Geena Turner has modeled for Playboy when she was 18 years old. And she basically did it because she did it to get herself out there as a model and to bring attraction to herself. And she claims that when the judges asked her about it, she replied, well, sex sells. And Tyra looked at her and basically called her a whore.
And they were like, yeah. I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I was like, yeah, I've done Playboy. I did Playboy when I was 18 years old. I lied and said I was 21 because I thought it was cool. But I said, yeah, like I did, and so Tyra looked, all I said was yes. And I didn't deny it. I never denied it. Said, so, God, what exactly did she say? I think I got defensive right away because I feel like her demeanor kind of changed sitting on the panel. Like, she kind of crossed her arms and was just like looking at me like all weird, right? And I remember telling her, yeah, I have done Playboy. And I said, for me, in my career, I wanted to be a model so bad. I want to be a high fashion model so bad. And none of it happened for me because I'm short or because of how I look. My career, in the beginning of everything, that sex sells, you know? And I pointed at Tyra, I said, you said it on this show plenty of times that sex sells. And I found out that that was what was going to work for my career, you know? And Tyra said, I swear to God, you guys, when I said sex sells and you said that on this show, and I just found out that that worked for my career. She crossed her fucking arms. Tyra Banks crossed her arms and looked at me and said, I don't like that. You sound like a fucking prostitute. And turns and looks this way and would not make eye contact with me the entire time. And I started bawling because I just had the woman that I've idolized my entire life tell me that I sound like a fucking prostitute.
She then said that only one of the judges, plus-size model Ashley Graham, is the only one that's actually stuck up for her.
Or I sounded whorish or that I was wrong. The only person that didn't bash me was Ashley Graham. And she told me, fuck what these people say. And she literally put her hand up to Tyra's face and said, don't ever let anybody make you feel like you've done something wrong with your own body. She said, you are beautiful. She said, I've been naked all over plenty of magazines. I've showed my body everywhere. And she said, and I'm still proud to this day. She was like, never say sorry, never apologize. She was like, you're not wrong. Your body is beautiful and you are beautiful. And I'm telling you, when I started bawling trying to defend myself, Tyra uncrossed her arms and goes, now tell me about alopecia. And that's where you guys see my interviews start. They skip all the Playboy stuff. They skip all the shit that makes me me. And make you guys think I'm a totally different person right off the bat.
According to Geena, Tyra went from being a bitch to then putting on for the camera and asking Geena about her alopecia. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with alopecia is basically your hair starts to thin out and fall out over time. And as she was going bald, Tyra went from being a bitch and saying you sound like a whore to saying, now tell me about your alopecia, to basically try to look good for the cameras. Because y'all know Tyra is an executive producer. And when you're an executive producer for a show, you have control on how you're edited. Why do you think the Kardashians are always the victims in negative situations? Because the Kardashians are executive producers of their show. So Tyra knew what the fuck she was doing, and Tyra was overall trash, if that really is true. Geena mentioned that Tyra is a cold bitch, and she knows how to turn off her positivity on camera, and then when she doesn't care about you, she knows how to turn that shit right the fuck off. Tyra has been outed for being rude to guests on her talk show, but the demise of her talk show and the demise of the American Next Top Model, I feel like plays a role in how her attitude is and how her nasty behavior is. Now, as far as Tyra, you know, a lot of the stuff she done, it can't erase her legacy. She has paved a lot of way for a lot of people. But just because you're an icon, just because people look up to you, that doesn't really give you any excuse to look up to her. I don't hate Tyra. I just don't love her as much as I used to. Because I've seen a lot of the shady things that she has done. And I've seen it from my own eyes watching the show as a child. And, you know, now seeing her get exposed and getting dragged on Twitter and Instagram, because as this video went viral on Twitter and gained traction, and also gained traction on Instagram. So seeing people really see her for who she really is just has me like, y'all just now noticing Tyra's low-key trash? I mean, I'm just saying, I got love for Tyra's legacy, and I love everything that she's done as a black woman, but Tyra needs to... People really need to know the truth about her, and that's really why I'm making this video. And honestly, these are just a ton of things that I want to talk about as far as Tyra. While I'm not very fond of her, the demise of her career, all the scandals she's been in, and I honestly just want to know y'all thoughts. I know this video is probably long as fuck, and I barely got to eat my strawberry bagels. But I really want to know y'all thoughts and opinions on Tyra and all the fuck shit she's done and gotten away with. So please be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And basically let me know what y'all think about all the things I mentioned. Let me know a lot of things that you didn't agree with. Let me know a lot of things that you feel like she needs to be held accountable for. And let me know if you learned something new in this video, because I'm making this video because I know if I don't, nobody will. But yeah, that was that. Don't nobody drag nobody like I do. And yeah, that's that. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go fuck up my bagels. And yeah, that's that. Videos every day or every other day on this channel or my second channel. Choice out this bitch. If I were a boy, even just for a day, I will roll out of bed in the morning and put on every other I want. Drink beer with the guys and chase after girls. I will buy the bed in the morning and I want it to me, 'cause I left it for me. If I were a boy, even just for a day, you've got a lot of hair, you thought I was right, you thought I was bad for you, you thought wrong. That was that for this video, and that's all y'all get for free. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you made it to the end. Thank you.